unless you can come up with $1 million cash to buy a property, I bet you these properties are quite expensive. If you can afford more expensive facilities, you don't want to discredit these kind of secondary market cities in your state. And as you zoom in, you'll be able to look, and so you'll be able to see these. So Albany's kind of growing, actually. The Tifton Albany area is growing. Dothan is growing. And, but then you can see as I zoom in, like here's secondary markets, very, very good secondary markets. But then you're starting to get into what I call tertiary markets, right? And these are like populations of like 50,000 or less. Okay, 50,000 people, 50,000 people is actually kind of a nice sized city. Honestly, it's not really too small. And, and then all these towns, like, let's just say like Greenville or Tuskegee. What is Tuskegee? Tuskegee has 8,000 people in it, you see? And you can play around with the population. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the population all the time of storage facilities. I'm looking at the population to see what it is. And then I'm looking to see where this is. Like Montgomery and Columbia are probably not too far away from each other. And then like Auburn and Tuskegee are right in the middle. So Auburn is 78,000 people, right? So that's a good sized town. Let's check out Auburn. All right, Auburn, Opelika. I think Auburn, isn't that where like some famous store, like football playing is? I'm like not a sports person at all, so I feel like Auburn is famous for something though. And so you can see here, like this area, I mean, honestly, this would be a very good area to like invest in, because you see how it's like Montgomery to Columbia. And then between, you've got some good sized towns in the middle, right? You've got Tuskegee, Tallahassee, Nottasuga, Auburn, Opelika. Like this would be a very good area to be investing in, just like, hey, I'm going to build out my portfolio and I'm going to be like kind of somewhere in this little area right here. That's right. That's in mind. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. You don't have to have it like all in the same city or whatever. Like you could be, really, this is a good little like triangle right here. So Auburn is Opelika. Oh, no, Opelika. Opelika's got 30,000. So between like Auburn and Opelika, there's like 100,000 people here. I mean, there's probably even way more. And this is a very good area. This is, and then you want to say like, okay, is this considered like secondary market or primary market? So all you have to do is search storage and then Auburn, right? Auburn, Alabama. And then like you start looking at the facilities, like Life Storage is in Auburn, right? Life Storage Extra Space is in Auburn, right? So like when Life Storage and Extra Space are all up in your area and stuff, like that would be considered like a primary market. I would say primary to sub-primary. I don't think Extra Space and Life Storage really get into like secondary markets. They want to have a lot of people. They want to have like a high population, like they're not even in Tallahassee, like Life Storage and there's like more, just think about that. There's like 250, 300,000 people that live in Tallahassee, and like Life Storage and Extra Space are just not even in that city. Okay. But they're here in this area. So obviously this area, there's a higher demand for storage. There's more, so it's going to be more expensive. I can imagine this area is probably going to be more expensive to even buy than Tallahassee is, because there's so much primary market competition in here. Okay. So, because like the reason I'm bringing this up is because like when I talk to people, the most of the time when they think of storage, this is what they're thinking about. Like, hey, I can go buy a storage facility, 20 minutes away from me that I can just manage. But the truth is if you're living in like a primary market or a secondary market, these facilities are expensive. They're expensive. Probably the land is a little bit more expensive, and even building them is a little bit more expensive. And it's just expensive, So we want to be focusing on like standalone secondary markets and tertiary markets. Unless you can come up with $1 million cash to buy a property, I bet you these properties here are quite expensive. Okay, so now even me looking in Google Maps and just trying to familiarize myself with the market, the storage market, I'm getting a better idea. I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's way too much competition in this area and it's going to be more expensive. This is not the area that I want to be in. All right, so where should I be in my state? You know, what area should I be focusing on in my state? Is it really where I live, you know, or is it going to be somewhere else? And I'm telling you, every week I talk to people that are interested in getting into storage nerds, and they all have in their mind that they want to buy something near a primary market. And the truth is unless you have a lot of money, it ain't going to happen. All right, it's not going to happen. Okay. And then what happens is that you're looking in the wrong markets. And what happens is that you get frustrated with storage and you get frustrated that you're not buying anything. And then you just give up. But the truth is if you actually are looking in the right market and understanding the storage market, then you will be able to find something that's within the price range that you can afford.
Hey everybody, this is Stacy here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am here to teach you how to get your foot into this industry. You're watching this video because you want to learn how to get started in self-storage investing, or maybe you own facilities and you want to be a better manager, a better owner. That is what I do, is I teach people how to do that. So please like this video and also subscribe, hit the subscribe button, because that's what YouTube wants. So in order for me to get out the word on how to get started in this industry, I really need your help. Again, I appreciate you listening to me, and I'm here to help you on this journey, and I will see you in the next video.